Daily Words of God. If people do not have any confidence, it is not easy for them to continue down this path. Everyone can now see that God's work does not conform in the slightest with people's notions. God has done so much work and spoken so many words, which are completely out of line with human notions. Thus, people must have the confidence and willpower to be able to stand by what they have already seen and what they have gained from their experiences. No matter what God does in people, they must uphold what they themselves possess, be sincere in front of God, and remain devoted to Him to the very end. This is mankind's duty. People must uphold that which they should do. Belief in God requires obedience to Him and experience of His work. God has done so much work. It could be said that for people it is all perfection, refinement, and even more, chastisement. There has not been a single step of God's work that has been in line with human notions. What people have enjoyed is God's stern words. When God comes, people should enjoy His majesty and His wrath. However, no matter how stern His words may be, He comes to save and perfect mankind. As creatures, people should fulfill the duties that they ought to, and stand witness for God in the midst of refinement. In every trial, they should uphold the witness that they should bear, and do so resoundingly for the sake of God. A person who does this is an overcomer. No matter how God refines you, you remain full of confidence and never lose confidence in Him. You do what man should do. This is what God requires of man, and man's heart should be able to fully return to Him and turn toward Him in every passing moment. This is an overcomer. Those whom God refers to as overcomers are those who are still able to stand witness and maintain their confidence and devotion to God when under the influence of Satan, and while being laid siege to by Satan, that is, when they find themselves amidst the forces of darkness. If you are still able to keep a pure heart before God and maintain your genuine love for God no matter what, then you are standing witness in front of God. And this is what God refers to as being an overcomer. If your pursuit is excellent when God blesses you, but you retreat without His blessings, is this purity? Since you are certain that this way is true, you must follow it until the end. You must maintain your devotion to God. Since you have seen that God Himself has come to the earth to perfect you, you should give your heart entirely to Him. If you can still follow Him, no matter what He does, even if He determines an unfavorable outcome for you at the very end, this is maintaining your purity in front of God. Offering a holy spiritual body and a pure virgin to God means keeping a sincere heart in front of God. For mankind, sincerity is purity, and the ability to be sincere toward God is maintaining purity. This is what you should put into practice. When you ought to pray, you pray. When you ought to gather together in fellowship, you do so. When you ought to sing hymns, you sing hymns. And when you ought to forsake the flesh, you forsake the flesh. When you perform your duty, you do not muddle through it. When you are faced with trials, you stand firm. This is devotion to God. If you do not uphold what people should do, then all of your previous suffering and resolutions have been futile.